Hello, welcome to Blind Tailors. Today we're going to tell you how to choose a plantation shutter. Or, we also get asked a lot, is a shutter the same as a plantation shutter? And the answer is yes. Shutters and plantation shutters, at least when we use them, are synonymous with each other. Not to be confused with exterior shutters, which are on the outside of your house. Everything we talk about is interior shutters, like the one you see behind me here. So when we say plantation shutters and shutters, we're talking about the same thing. Alright, the first question we need to ask you is, where do you want your shutter mounted? Inside or outside? Most of the time, the best look is an inside mount. However, when you do an inside mount shutter, you do sometimes lose that ability to tilt in your windows, which some people, especially if they just got new replacement windows, paid a lot of money for, they don't want to lose it. So we're forced to do an outside mount application. They both look great. The inside mount's just a little bit cleaner look, and we can show you the differences, and I'll actually walk you around and give you a little tour here afterwards and show you the difference between an inside mount application and an outside mount application. Alright, the second question I need to ask you is, what do you want your shutters made out of? We carry three different styles: real wood, faux wood, or PVC. Right here you have a real wood shutter. You can't tell on camera too much, but it is other than the color. But this is made out of real wood. It's lighter in weight. It's got much more color selections than any other products. You get several different whites and several different stains. It does have a limited warranty because it is painted or stained. And you also can get your specialty shapes in these. If you have any arches or any French door cutouts, we'd have to put you into a real wood so that you can get that shape made exactly like you want it. So this is a real wood product right here, and we'll show you the faux wood and the PVC as well. Okay, next is a faux wood shutter. Faux wood is just a fancy word for imitation wood. So if it's not real wood, it's probably called faux wood. So you really want to see what you're getting and not just rely on somebody telling you it's a faux wood. But you can take a look at this. These are made identical to the real wood, so you can put these side by side and you can't tell the difference. These do have a lifetime warranty. They are the best priced, and they're best for moisture areas. So if you're doing something in a bathroom, outside in a garage, we want to put you into a faux wood because it's going to last the longest and be the best out there for any moisture areas. So when you're thinking about that, think about price, moisture areas, anything like that, we want to talk about and think about putting you in a faux wood shutter. Okay, the next shutter material is PVC. PVC shutters have a 25-year warranty. Why it's not a limited lifetime warranty, I don't know, but it's a 25-year warranty. And this shutter is the best insulator out of all three materials. Why is that? Because it's hollow. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it is hollow inside. The other materials are solid. This actually traps air inside this entire shutter panel, inside the stiles, inside the bottom rail and top rail, and also in between the louvers. It provides extra insulation for your house if it is drafty or you have some rooms that are drafty. You may want to consider going into a PVC shutter. This is actually the quickest to install as well. I can get this shutter. It's made in North Carolina. I can get it installed in about 2 weeks, give or take. So if you're under the gun, you need to get something installed quick, and you'd like the look and feel of the PVC shutter, you may want to consider that. But you do want to have us out so you can get a feel of this shutter. Alright, next, when selecting a shutter, you want to talk about what size louver do you want. We carry I carry four different ones. Three are the most popular: 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5. I don't know if you can see this very well by comparison, but this is a 2.5 shutter and a 3.5 shutter side by side. You can see the differences with your 3.5. You have more spacing in between the louvers. It's going to be a better view. This is a 2.5, a little bit more traditional. This is a little bit more contemporary. This is you can't tell it's on camera. This is a little bit softer white. This is a brighter white. 2.5, 3.5. You do have a 4.5 as well. It's going to give you even a better view, but you want to make sure you have real big windows when you get into the 4.5. You can get these in a faux wood that we do carry. You can get it in a 1 7/8 if you want to complement any 2-inch blinds that you might have in the house. We can get you that as well. But when you're choosing a size, consider that 2.5, 3.5 is going to be most popular, or you can also get a 4.5. Also, when selecting your shutter, you want to talk about, with the shutter specialist, you want to talk about what frame you want. What we like to do is put a frame around your shutters. It makes it a lot more sturdy, and it also hides any inconsistencies that might be in your window casing. This right here, hopefully you can come out on camera okay. This is a nice little frame here that wraps around your shutter panel. Provides a nice decoration as well as supports the shutter. This one here, if you always wanted to add trim to your house, you can actually do that with a shutter. Put a nice piece of trim around your shutter. You don't have to actually add it as an added cost. You can incorporate that right into the cost of your shutter. And here's an outside mount frame. If you do want to do an outside mount, or have to do an outside mount rather, you do a frame like this. There's a couple different, several different frames actually to choose from. This is just an example. You can see there That frame's up around the panel. It also prevents the light from coming in around the back. It's really the best way to mount a shutter. I rarely mount a shutter without a frame. If I do, it's only because I have to based on what we've been given as far as the mounting application. But anybody that tells you they don't want to put a frame around it, they're trying to do the easy way out and the cheapest way for them. They're probably not giving you a price break. But the frame is really going to add a lot of value to the shutter. It's going to look the best, and it's going to support it the best as well. The next thing we want to discuss with you is what color do you want your shutter? The real wood's going to have the most color selections. You see several shades of white. Of course, you can't see it on the camera here, but you get several shades of white with the real wood. You can also get several different stains with the real wood products. And in case you want to match your hardwoods or some existing furniture or maybe some crown molding, we'll probably have to put you into a real wood product in order to get you a good color match. Now, a lot of people ask, can I paint my shutters? No, you cannot paint your shutters. You don't want to touch paint your shutters. It's no fun painting shutters. And most of the time, if you try to paint an existing shutter, you're going to avoid any manufacturer's warranty on there. Some companies may sell an unfinished shutter and let you do that. It's a lot of work. I wouldn't recommend it. And also, we can do a custom paint match. If you get I believe it's Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams, we can actually do a custom paint match. It's a little bit extra money, but we can get you that custom paint match if one of the colors we don't have is not quite right for you. With the faux wood, you can get, mostly comes in shades of white, a silk white, a soft white, so we'll have to kind of show you those as well. The PVC is going to come in a white and a couple off-whites, but we can select those as well. Most of the time you're going to want to, we try to at least match the trim on your existing window casing. Some people like to do a contrast. It really comes down to personal preference, so we want to get out there, show you the colors, hold them up to the trim, and see which one you like the best. Okay, the next question we're going to ask you is how fast do you want your shutters, or is it even an issue? The real wood and the faux wood, I'm getting about 6 to 8 weeks. If you order a specialty shape, if you have an arch, French door cutout, those are going to be 8 weeks, and the whole order it takes 8 weeks, even if you do have some regular ones on there. Now, we can split that up if you want to do 2 installs, get some in 6 weeks, some in 8 weeks, but for lack of a better explanation, they're all going to come in about 8 weeks. The faux wood, I do have a faux wood that comes in about 3 weeks. Again, there's size restrictions, color restrictions and stuff, so it really depends on all the other answers to your questions on what we can even offer you, and that may put you into a 6-week time frame no matter what anyway. But I do have a faux wood here that has a lifetime warranty on this that comes in about 3 weeks. It's actually made here right in the U.S. And you can get that in about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, maybe even sooner. The fastest, like I mentioned before, is the PVC. This comes in about 2 weeks. It's usually getting installed right about that time too. We can work around some time frames if you need to. But just keep that in mind whenever you're selecting a shutter. If you need something quick, it's going to have to be a PVC shutter. We want to make sure you like what you're getting. If you can wait, you can get the faux wood at the best price or the real wood as well. Okay, we're going to show you a couple different applications here. This is actually an outside mount. I'll try to get it zoomed in here so you can see what I'm talking about. This is where the shutter is mounted on the outside of the window casing. Okay? That's an outside mount. That's what you need to do if you have tilt-in windows and want to be able to tilt your windows in for cleaning. You'll also see on this shutter here, this is a 2-panel shutter with 4 sections. Those 4 sections are separated by what's called a divider rail. This divider rail right here is what you use for privacy. So you can actually close the bottom for privacy and leave the top open for light. And when I say 2-panel shutter, you have a panel that opens to the left and a panel that opens to the right. So that's a two-panel outside mount shutter with a divider rail. Okay, here is a 4-panel outside mount shutter, 4-panel shutters with a divider rail, as we discussed down below. These panels, and I'll show you here in a second, open 2 to the left and 2 to the right. So if you have a double window, like we do here, you'll be able to cover it with a 4-panel shutter. These 2 panels open up here. These 2 panels open up and slide back here. Okay, now it's a little difficult to tell, but this is actually an inside mount shutter application. You can see here that the frame is a lot closer to the existing window casing. It doesn't hang off the sill nearly as much as the outside mount shutter, and it is as back as far as we can. This is called a Z-frame that wraps around the window casing like I showed you there in the demonstration. That allows you to hide any inconsistencies in the window so that we can square up that shutter and make it a great fit. Okay, well that about wraps things up. I hope you at least got a little education on how to choose a Plantation shutter. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give our office a call. You can reach us at 704-849-0010. You can always check out before and after pictures and some different shutter specifications on our website at www.blindtailors.com.